Imagine being the most powerful person in the world, ruling an empire that stretched from Britain to the Middle East, while simultaneously dealing with plague, war, betrayal, and personal tragedy. Now imagine that instead of letting these challenges destroy you, you use them to become wiser, more resilient, and more effective. This was Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled from 161 to 180 AD, and whose private journal became one of the most influential books on success and leadership ever written. Today, we're exploring how the ancient wisdom of Marcus Aurelius can transform your approach to success in the modern world. Marcus wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This might be the most powerful reframing of obstacles you'll ever encounter. Think about how we typically respond to problems. We resist them, complain about them, wish they didn't exist. But Marcus saw something different. He recognized that every obstacle contains within it the seeds of opportunity. A difficult client teaches you patience and communication. A failed project reveals weaknesses in your process. A rejection redirects you towards something better. The key to success isn't avoiding obstacles. That's impossible. It's changing your relationship with them. When you face a setback this week, pause and ask yourself, what can this teach me? How can this make me stronger? Where is the hidden opportunity here? This single mental shift, practiced consistently, separates those who succeed from those who give up. Marcus wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and perhaps the most crucial lesson for success. We waste enormous energy trying to control things we can't control: other people's opinions, market conditions, whether we get that promotion, how someone responds to our email. Meanwhile, we neglect the one thing we have complete control over: our own thoughts and responses. Successful people understand this distinction viscerally. They don't waste time catastrophizing about what might happen or ruminating on what they can't change. Instead, they ask, what's within my control right now? Maybe you can't control whether you win the contract, but you can control the quality of your proposal. You can't control your boss's mood, but you can control your professionalism and work ethic. Practice this daily. When anxiety or frustration arises, stop and identify what's actually within your control. Then focus all your energy there. This isn't just philosophy, it's a practical strategy for maintaining peak performance under pressure. This might sound morbid, but Marcus frequently reminded himself of his mortality. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Far from being depressing, this awareness was liberating. When you truly internalize that your time is limited, several things happen. First, trivial concerns lose their power. That embarrassing mistake at work, that critical comment on social media, these things shrink to their proper size when viewed against the backdrop of a finite life. Second, clarity emerges about what actually matters. You stop postponing important conversations, meaningful projects, and genuine relationships. Think about someone on their deathbed. They never say, "I wish I'd spent more time worrying about what people thought of me," or "I wish I'd played it safer." They regret not taking chances, not being authentic, not pursuing what truly mattered to them. Use mortality as a tool for success, not to be reckless, but to be intentional. Before making decisions, ask yourself, if this were my last year, would this matter? Would I be proud of this choice? This perspective cuts through noise and reveals your true priorities. Marcus regularly practiced imagining loss, losing his position, his health, his loved ones. This wasn't pessimism, it was preparation and gratitude training. When you occasionally imagine losing what you have, two benefits emerge. First, you build resilience. You realize you could handle adversity if it came. This reduces anxiety because you've already mentally rehearsed challenges. Second, you appreciate what you have now. That job you complain about, Imagine suddenly losing it and you'll see its value more clearly. Spend 5 minutes weekly considering potential setbacks, not to attract them, but to realize you're stronger than you think, and to cultivate genuine appreciation for your current circumstances. Paradoxically, preparing for the worst helps you perform at your best. Marcus wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." He believed in focusing on doing your immediate duty well rather than obsessing over outcomes. This is liberating for success. You don't need to revolutionize your industry today. You don't need to become a millionaire this year. You just need to do today's work with excellence. Make that one phone call with full presence. Write that report with care. Have that difficult conversation with honesty. Success isn't built in dramatic moments, it's built in the quality of your daily execution. When you focus on doing each small thing well without attachment to grand outcomes, you actually achieve more. You're not paralyzed by the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You're simply taking the next right step. Just like you really mentioned earlier, Marcus Aurelius never intended for anyone to read his meditations. They were private notes to himself, written often by candlelight in military camps during brutal campaigns. Yet nearly 2,000 years later, they remain intensely relevant because they address timeless aspects of human psychology and success. The path to success isn't about hustling harder or finding some secret shortcut. It's about mastering your mind, focusing on what you can control, appreciating each day, preparing for adversity, and executing your duties with excellence. These principles worked for a Roman emperor facing unimaginable pressure, and they'll work for you too. As Marcus himself wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good person should be. Be one."